like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. So what I'm going to do in this video is take you on a journey of derusting, and I'm going to take you down the track from a video on YouTube that I watched some time ago, and I have made mention to in a couple of my other videos, of a chappie who does firearms restoration, vintage stuff, and how he deals with rust removal, and the way he has made his own version of Evapo-rust. His version lasts up to 3 times longer, but works a lot faster. I'll put the link for his video in the description below, so you can watch that if you like, and you can go on his journey of what he discovered and how he discovered, and the ways he went through to prove that this works. But as you will see, we'll make it up on the bench here, and you'll see exactly what I see if it works. So, grab yourself a drink, a snack to snack on if you want it, and a comfy seat. And let's get on with it. So guys, here we have the basics to what we need to make our own Evapo-rust. I have a funnel, and this is so with this mixture, it doesn't go off or go stale or anything like that. It is environmentally friendly, so you can discharge it down the stormwater or the sewage lines. And this is so I can put it back into this bottle. Now, I'm only making up enough to do a case. Now, this is the case for the PC I'm making up to make the drive image utility for. The PC's all working fine now that I've repaired it. I need to derust the bottom of the case because it is quite manky. So I'm going to make it up in here, and I don't need more than a couple of litres. This is a 3 litre bottle. I measured 2 litres into this through a Pyrex jug in the kitchen, so that's just straight water out of the tap. The other thing we're going to need is, per litre of water, you're going to need 100 grams of citric acid. Now you can buy these over here in New Zealand, and I think in Australia and that as well. You can buy them in a jar, and these are 100 grams exactly in the jars. You can buy bulk, and then you'll have to decanter it out. So you need 2 of these, so I have an extra couple here. And then the next thing you want is 40 grams of washing powder. That's per litre of water. So in here I've measured out 80 grams of washing powder, and what I did is, this is just an old magnesium bottle I had, plastic one. I put it on my digital scales in the kitchen, zeroed it off, and then I put 80 grams worth of powder into this. So that's an exact measure. So I don't know how it'll work with liquid. You could try it and see. He mentions powdered, so that's what I'm using. And that's all we need. And then we just stir it up and away we go. So what we'll do is we will start on this. So as I says, 200 grams of citric acid and 80 grams of washing powder, our funnel for later. And that's why I decided to go with a 3 litre bottle, because it gives me room to put it back in here. Now this tray, if you're wondering what it is a cat litter tray. It is just wide enough to put the case into. I did buy a plastic container, but it is way bigger than what I need, and I'd have to make up like 10 litres of this stuff to get it to fill the bottom that I need. I got an extra one just in case 2 litres wasn't enough and I need to put another litre into this. So that's what we do. We have our water in there, 2 litres of water. And I'll just put in, this is one of the containers of citric acid. Now the thing to remember is that when the washing powder goes into here, this will fizz and bubble and carry on. But it's not dangerous. It's not dangerous to your skin or anything like that. The other thing I need to get is a little bit of dishwashing liquid I forgot to grab that, but I will go down and grab some dishwashing liquid. And I'll also grab something to stir this with, because I don't have anything big enough. The other thing too is making this, you'll get these handy little clear containers you can clean out later on and use them, putting screws and nuts and bolts and things into. I'll just go and grab a stick to stir this with, and I'll be right back. Right guys, I'm back now. So I've got that. I've got dishwashing liquid. So I'll now put in the 80 grams of washing powder. And this is what he was saying. See how that's all fizzing up? And that's just the reaction between the citric acid and the washing powder. And then he says dishwashing liquid, you just put a squirt in. Now what this is to do is to put a oil film on top of the metal so that it doesn't flash off straight away. Now you can use any sort of powdered washing powder, whether you use the cheap stuff or the not so cheap stuff, the more expensive stuff. That is totally up to you. And what we do, we just let this settle down, and once this settles down, it'll go back to a liquid again once the reactions are all finished between the citric acid and the washing powder. Okay guys, as you can see, it's starting to clear up. Now it's finished doing all its fizzing and reacting. Just mixing it up a bit more with little spits of citric acid that may be in the bottom. Now it may pay to put some warm water in this to help dissolve the citric acid, so it does go a little bit crystalline on the bottom from the water, so it will dissolve over time. Just want to help it along a little bit and get it to dissolve so we can get on to doing the derusting. So I'll give it another few minutes, and then I'll take the dishwashing liquid and the containers back out in the kitchen, and I'll leave this to settle down a little bit, and then I'll come back to it and we can get on. Okay guys, we're almost ready. So I'll just show you the case we're going to be doing. This is the inside of the case. Just so you can see what we're going to be doing, and there are a couple of the plates that go on the back of here that have got to be done. They're not too bad. The top of the case has got a fraction of a little bit of rust on it, not too bad, but I might do that one later. And around the front just a wee bit there. But what we'll do is we'll pop it in and see how it goes. I'll put the other camera on so you can see what's going on too when I put it in the tank. As you can see guys, we're getting there. I would say if you wanted to do this, probably make it up ahead of time. And as I say, it doesn't go off. So what you can do is put it in a bottle and label it and put it aside. That way you can use it whenever you want. And that way you can mix it all up, and once it's finished frothing and carrying on, put it back into the bottle and just leave it to sit so all the suds die out and go away from it. But I'll leave this for a little bit more, and I will look at sticking this case in and we'll carry on. Okay guys, so I think I've waited long enough, so this should be okay. What I've done is I've moved the other camera around so you get a better view of the side of the bar. And I'll try and spin it around. So I'm going to put the case in. I'm going to try and see if you guys can... You're not really going to get a good shot of this, are you? I might have to... I'll spin this tub around. And I'll... So you can see it from the side. And I don't think the top one's going to show you much. So what I'll do is... Bear with me. I'll just swap these cameras around, eh? Okay guys, so I've got that camera set up, so hopefully you'll see what's going on, and you'll be able to see what's move that a little bit, and what happens. Turn that light off. No, maybe that's not true. Good. So what we do, we just sit this in here, and we'll leave it for 30 minutes. And that's what he recommends. He recommends you just put it in there and just leave it in the bottom and let it sit for 30 minutes and then check on it. And so we will do that. There is a paper label in the bottom from when the machine was made, from the company that made it. And I sort of think, well, it's not of much use really. It just had the basic stats of the machine, which I have all the original hardware, so it's neither here nor there. Alrighty, so we will carry on and we will see what happens with the derusting. Okay guys, so there you just saw me. I just took the little paintbrush and just brushed it around the bottom a little bit, and I'll lift this up and have a look. Look at the difference in that. Okay? And that's been probably about 20 minutes, half an hour. There's still more of that coming off, so I'll give this a bit of a brush, I think, and I'll stick it back in for a little bit longer. And see, as you can see on the edge here, and just with the brush, as I say, it probably needs just a little bit longer, but what a difference. Eh? What a difference. And if this was Evapo-rust, this would be going quite dark now. If you don't believe me, grab some Evapo-rust and give it a try. I've used it a few times on different cases and that, and what you pay for, it's not really that great. So what I'll do is, I have these are just the back plates for it as well, and I'll drop these in as well. As you can see, they're in various states of rustiness, so we'll drop them in there. And as I says, this stuff won't hurt. This stuff won't hurt you. You can put your hands in it. It's only citric acid and dishwashing liquid. It's not anything that's going to burn you or hurt you. So what we'll do is we'll leave that for a little bit longer, and we'll come back to it and see what it's like. As you can see on my hands, that's the rust coming out. And these haven't been soaking as long as the case. But if you really want to see what this stuff will do, guys, I recommend you jump online and watch the chappie's video. And as I said, I'll put a link in the bottom of this video for you to go and have a look at it. And yeah, the results he gets is really amazing. So, and as he says, at this stage, the cost is about a third of what you would pay for Evapo-rust, and it lasts a lot longer than Evapo-rust ever will. It's not 100% as good as Evapo-rust, and if you leave the metal in here for a long time, and I'm talking not hours or minutes or stuff like that, but if you're talking days and weeks, it will slowly start to eat the metal, because it doesn't have an inhibitor in it to stop once the rust has gone from etching into the metal. So it is very slight, but you'll see in his video, if you watch it, he goes through and has all the information on why it does it and why the Evapo-rust doesn't do it. And you can, if you want to help him, try different things to see what will stop it eating the metal. So guys, I will leave that there for a little bit longer, and when that is sat for about another half an hour, 20 minutes, I will flip it over and do the roof. So what I've done, guys, is I've put this on this case on an angle, because it's not quite deep enough to get that top edge, because it's a rolled lip, and it's a rolled lip, and it sits actually a lot higher. So I mean, you know, it's about that much higher than the side of the case. So I've had to lie it on an angle to do it. So we'll leave that in there for a little bit. It's not too bad, the top, so it shouldn't take long. So I'll give it about 20 minutes or so. But I've just been drying down the case, and you can see all the rust that's been coming off just by wiping it over with a paper towel. You know, just been wiping it over with some paper towels, and it's just all the rust that's coming off it. I'll give you a good look at the case when it's finished, and you can see what it looks like. It looks miles better, guys. It really does. Anyway, we'll be back in a short bit. Okay guys, so it's all primered and dried now. So I put that rust remover back in the bottle. As I said, until it gets to a point where it doesn't work, that's when you throw it away. But in a bottle, stick it somewhere safe. I'll put rust remover on it so I know what it is. And anybody else who goes to pick it up knows what it is. So I'll put that out of the way. And for the big one that you guys were all wondering about is the case. And I'm just going to bring that up here now. So here's the case. there's the old label in the bottom I wasn't too worried about. But as I said to you, how it's come up really good. I kept the CE certificate on the back. I put a bit of masking tape over that. I put masking tape over this top lid as well because it's in pretty good condition, and I thought, well, I don't want the whole thing grey, so I left that ivory colour that it's done. That's it, guys. So that's what it's all done up to at the moment. I have got the little backing plates that go in down here, but they're still drying at the moment, and they're a slightly darker grey, which I think will contrast it nicely. So what I'll do is I will go along and put all this back together, and then I'll carry on with the video for doing the software on the other video I was doing. Alright, I'll leave this one here, guys. Thanks. Well, guys, there we go. So the case is all done now, and didn't it come out well? A bit of paint hides a lot of blemishes, but getting rid of that rust is the biggie. And I think if you have older machines sitting around that you need to de-rust, or even boards, because this shouldn't be toxic to the boards. I haven't tried it, but if somebody wants to try it and let me know, that would be awesome. I'm thinking it will take rust out of boards as well, because the compound eats the rust or reconstitutes it into something else. And that way then you can clean the boards up with a toothbrush, and away you go. So guys, there we have it. Look for the machine on the up and coming videos, or if it's not been before this one, on Dave Dunfields drive image software, and how we set the machine up, what we set it up with, and how it works. So guys, thanks again for coming along and taking part in this video. Give me a thumbs up if you like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That just helps me out with all the logistics with YouTube and so forth. As I always say, have a good day, have a good week, and until next time, ciao.